Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the 35th, right? 35? 35th live stream event thing. That's 35th week. It means that we've been doing it almost 3/4 of a year. Um, trying to do these things to replace the gem shows and the trade shows and the stone shows that we miss doing, all the club shows, all the lapidary clubs that we used to go to and meet all the fine people, have been all closed this year. Of course, you all know this. We're living through the thing. We're coming out of the tunnel now. It seems like hopefully by the summer. We should have a good handle on everything, and shows should start back up again. I know that probably Calgary, they'll start doing them again in a couple of weeks, but
So
I give Calgary so much trouble. Not the word I was going to use, but just because they had one in the middle at the height of the pandemic, and I thought, oh my God, this is crazy. But apparently it was a success and it worked. So hey, whatever works. Good job. Good on you. We'll start seeing you all in person again soon. This week, I'm going to do three. I'm going to come back and do a couple of preambles in a second, but just a little bit of a preview just to keep your appetites whetted while a few people, if you haven't logged in yet, some blah, blah, blah before we start getting into the meat of the thing. We're going to continue with the pendants, the trays, the video catalog of those things. But just to highlight, these trays, this week and next week, are all new products that if you've only seen us at shows, you have not seen these before. I'd have to double check. I think most of these are up on the website now. Some I think still are not. I know that as of last week when we did the a bunch of the commemorative kind of jewelry things like those bears and things. Those things are definitely all up on the website. I remember seeing those. I don't remember specifically putting all these up. I remember photoshopping a lot of these things, so I know that the images are ready, and we'll see. Some of them may be on the website, some of them may not be. We do the best we can getting them up, sort of thing. But the last 6 months or so, Marble went crazy and ordered so many new items, almost as many new items as we already have items. So it's taken us a while to get everything up on the website. If you're local, you're welcome to come in and have a look at all the new stuff. Just make an appointment, give us a call, make sure we know you're here because we limit the number of people who are here at a time. And of course, masks are mandatory and everything unless you're on camera. Anyway, getting back to the basic premise of the live stream, we're here to showcase some of our products. If you place an order today during the live stream, you'll get 10% off the regular prices. If you're not already a member of Lapidary Club or something, then you already get the 10% off. We don't stack discounts. You get to pick one, which they're both 10%. So either here nor there. And if you weren't aware of that you do get a discount if you're a member of a Lapidary Club, go sign up for a Lapidary Club membership somewhere. And because you know what? Actually, Nelson and I were just talking about this yesterday. Lapidary clubs, these shows that we go to and we see these people. I don't know how to say this without sounding awful, like an awful, terrible person. But it seems like a lot of the the bulk of the membership are all kind of really old people, and you don't see a lot of new young people getting into lapidary, which I do know one guy, a person who is a friend of a good customer of ours who I've never actually met in person, but I know him, Lumos Gems in Seattle. Young guy, he's 20s, 25, this sort of thing. He's doing lapidary. He loves it. It's awesome. I think he's going to be an amazing artist when he really comes into his own. Just not a lot of young people getting into it. So I think we need more young people getting into this to keep that part of the industry alive. Because people don't make any things anymore. Part of the whole beauty of life is making things. And if you've never made something before, started with something and turned it into something else, something useful, something beautiful, the feeling is amazing. And Anyway, don't listen to your kindergarten teacher, right? When you were there and you're making paint a horse and you painted a purple horse and they said, well, horses aren't purple. Don't listen to those people. Don't let that kind of thing shame you into, right? That's what it's called, art shaming, right? Don't let art shaming stop you from creating, making something beautiful, making something amazing. So, anyway, that's my pitch for art. If you share this live stream, we'll send you one of these polishing cloths. I know there was one last week, but it wasn't a public share. If you shared it last week, we can't see who that was, so please let us know. It was a private share, which is fine. It's still a share. It still counts. But just let us know who you are, because we can't tell who you are if it's a private share. If it's a public share, we can see who shared it. But if it's a public share or a private share, we can't. Um, if you have any questions about anything jewelry related, you know, we take whatever question you have. It doesn't have to necessarily be about our products. Boy, I've answered questions about the most bizarre things having to do with jewelry, and I love answering them. I love I was a teacher for 25 years, so for me, expressing my knowledge about how to do something is some of the most fun things that I get to do. What else? Custom work. If you're a thing, and I know that we just got a custom order yesterday from somebody, I think, and Dwayne, if you're watching, you're probably not watching, but if you are, because I told you that it's not going to be coming till, March, is when you're getting it, because the factory is closed, for the new year. Spring Festival, all the entire month of February they're closed. So no custom stuff is happening now, but we're still taking the custom orders, just so you know there'll be a real long delay. Or a longer delay than you would normally be accustomed to. Shipping is the same. It's terrible. Uh, I'm almost at the point where I want to disable orders into Europe, because the average now, I don't know what happens. When we ship stuff from here via post to Europe, it goes through the States, and then it goes, even though we're shipping it from here, it goes to the U.S. Postal Service. U.S. Postal Service transfers it to another company called Ascendia. They ship it to their hub in Switzerland, and then from Switzerland, I guess it gets dispersed to wherever else, into whatever other postal service. I know that Ascendia in Switzerland switches it to, if it's going to England or the UK, it'll go to the Royal Mail, that kind of thing. And it seems as though, and this is just a guess, I have no empirical evidence to support this, but it seems like every new country it goes to, it sits in quarantine for 2 weeks. So I think we had a package that was delivered into France 71 days. Which I could have swam there faster. But anyway, so please be patient if you're ordering from Europe right now. It's bad. Into the U.S., same as always. They're getting better, slowly better. It was bad during the holidays. Well, bad in the sense that it was taking 2 or 3 days longer than normal, right? Which I think even here in Canada, they were saying, like, within the same province, you're looking at like a week or so, and that just seems madness to me. So if we're shipping something from here across the country to the other side of Canada, like in Quebec or Ontario, you're looking at least a week, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, if it's just regular mail. We have premium shipping options available, so that's always available to you. You might consider using those things. And if it's a function of, I don't want to pay so much shipping for such a little order, I have a good solution. Order more stuff. Make it worth it. But that's just me. That's very entirely self-serving, but it's a good option. Okay, moving right along. We've got trays. We have our trays numbered. If you've seen them at shows, I don't know if you've seen them. I got quite a few stones in these ones this week. Some not. These are trays numbered 36, 37, and 38. Hopefully, I get through them all. And they're awesome. All these new ones are just so good. Um, I did mention to Marble sometime last spring that we needed more round settings. You know, we have so many ovals. You know that it's rare that we get somebody with an oval stone that we can't find a setting for. But um, while the round settings we had some for just about every size. We didn't have a lot of depth into that thing. You know, we had you know, maybe one or two options for a 6 millimeter round. I think. Well, now we're going to have lots more, and you'll see them. Um, Okay, let's go. Moving right along. Oops. I want to be in the corner there. Yay. Okay, our first item today, MTP. But is that too bright? Can you see that? Is that okay? Is that good on the screen? Or is that too bright? I don't know. MTP 1189 for a 12 millimeter round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price 2054 and the wholesale price 1283. Oh, I didn't mention that. Talk about that. The wholesale minimums again is $150. If you spend up to $150 or more at the wholesale level, you can get the wholesale price. That's the only criteria to get the wholesale. So, you know, when you're looking at these two prices, you know, if you're going to order a lot of stuff, it doesn't even have to be a lot of stuff. Gosh, it's just like, you know, 10 items like this and you're in, you know. So, anyway. So this lovely is a round one. It's got that hybrid seat, right? So you can put a cut stone or a cabochon in there. It's got some nice. So I know that's a little bit out of focus. Some nice, pretty tall prongs. So a good cab will fit in there. I love those cubic zirconias all the way around the outside and those semicircles, right? Inward-facing semicircles. Very gorgeous. Here's another one. It's kind of a brushed silver look, MTP 1190 for a 21 by 30 pear shape cabochon. Retail price $31.29, wholesale price $19.57. And I just love this antique silver. You know, it looks almost like a brushed pewter. I have a stone that doesn't really. It's not exactly the right size, but we'll just give you an idea what it sort of looks like. I think it's about a millimeter too small, right? So, but that's basically the, you know, what you're going to see when you get that in there. I love this. It's just so nice, three-dimensional, you know, with those little branches and the flowers, the flora and fauna all the way around there. Here's another MTP 1191 for an 8 millimeter round cut stone or cabochon. Retail price 15.12 and the wholesale price 9.45. And obviously it's a little cat. Yeah, we got a couple of these similar, you know, items like these. I think they're in the other tray. But I love that sort of pave-looking body with a little, you know, cute little tail, a little stone in there. To make the head. Next item, MTP 1192 for a 5 by 7 millimeter oval cut stone or cabochon. I put a little amethyst in there. Not exactly the right size, but it sort of fits. Retail price $13.27 and the wholesale price is $8.29. And this just cute cubic zirconias, right? Kind of classic shape. The cubic zirconias are only on the outside edges. The rest on the inside is a mill grain texture. And that's what the setting looks like without that. Just a regular old, plain old soldered loop and bail in the top. We've got a couple of caps now. This big one for, I guess the opening here is 7 millimeters wide by 14 millimeters tall. MTP 1193 with the retail price is $48.78 and wholesale price is $30.49. And this is just I don't know, a giant dragonfish something. I'm sure this is something culturally significant. Yeah, it's like a dragon head with a fish. I think I saw that in oh god, there was some crazy kung fu movie I saw that had these. Anyway, neither here nor there. Very cool. MTP 1154 with an opening of 9 millimeters wide by 13 millimeters tall. 44.21 is the retail price. 27 $64 is the wholesale price. This wolf's head thing, we have a couple of other ones that were I showed you last week. Those are definitely dire wolves. This is just a more traditional, straight up uh, wolfhound kind of something. Oh, somebody, hello, hi Andrea. Do you have a square halo ring? I know you had adjustable one that was adjustable, but it was discontinued. Square. You know what? Yeah. Didn't you? I think you asked that question on the chat. Somebody was supposed to get back to you. I think. Oh, Nelson got back to you. I don't think we know what you mean by a halo ring. If you can make a little drawing so we can understand what you. What's a halo ring? Oh, halo ring? I don't know. To me, a halo ring is like an angel has a little halo ring, doing over their head. Uh, I'm sure it's something, and I'm sure it's something that some company has called it a halo ring, and it's kind of been adopted as a thing. But I don't know what it is. We don't know what it is here. Um, we might have it. That doesn't mean we don't have it just because we don't know what it is. The thing about the jewelry industry that's always amazed me is how many different people come up with names for the same thing. And God, there are some stones that have like 20 names. Anyway. Neither here nor there. MTP 1195 for a 7 by 9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. I've got a little rainbow moonstone in there, got a little cut rainbow moonstone. Retail price $14.79. Wholesale price is $9.24. Just cute little ribbons with some cubic zirconias down on the bottom. Right? And some more at the top. Kind of a classic. My next one, we have a couple of these settings now that people have asked us for settings with multiple stones in them, and we have a couple. You'll see them today. I'll point them out. This one, MTP 1196 for two 6 millimeter round cabochons or cut stones. I mean, the seats are designed for cut stones, and the prongs are not super tall, so it'd have to be a low dome cab if you put one in there. But a cab would definitely work in there also. Retail price $21.48, and the wholesale price is $13.43 for these leaping dolphins that are actually the bale that's incorporated into the whole piece behind one of those little dolphins. Cubic zirconias around the rings of the seats. The next one is MTP 1197 for an 8 by 10 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Either will work. $18.29 is the retail price. $11.43 is the wholesale price. And that's just, very simple, very classic. Rows of cubic zirconias around the outside of another band of, plain ribbon-looking things. I put a little tiger's eye in there, but oops, get that out. You can put anything. The prongs are, nice size, so no matter how thick your cab is, you could probably, push that over onto the front of that. Right? It's got that beautiful hybrid seat. MTP 1198 for a 6 millimeter round cut stone. Ideally, maybe a small cab will fit in there, or a low dome cab. Retail price $13.20. Wholesale price $8.24 is your. It's kind of a square, with cubic zirconias around the outside of that. Very classic, very thing. Notice the bale has cubic zirconias in there also. I don't know if you can see that. Our next item, MTP 1199 for a 9 by 11 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $16.47 and the wholesale price is $10.30. I love these graduated, kind of loops in between the seat on the inside and the frame on the outside. The basket is, kind of a deep basket, so a nice cut stone will fit in there. The prongs are pretty good size, so just about any cab will fit in there. It's a good, versatile, all-around, very, very modern, very cool pendant. Right? Kind of mod, very, almost, 70s. I love it. Very Partridge Family. Is anybody watching WandaVision? I'm getting WandaVision vibes from this thing. MTP 1200 for a 6mm round cut stone or cabochon. Retail price $13.64. Wholesale price $8.53. And this is just a very simple round, pendant. It's got a basket, so a cut stone works in there perfectly. Cab will also work. It's got this cute little, sort of not really a filigree pattern, but if they were cut out, they would be. It's just cute little, raised silver things. There are no cubic zirconias in there. That's all just, mill grain and metal patterns. On this one, the stone isn't exactly the right size, so it might fall out. It's about a hair of a millimeter too big for the setting, but I put it in there just so you could see what it would look like. MTP 1201 for a 7mm round cabochon. Retail price $24.71 and the wholesale price $15.44. And there's just a ring of cubic zirconias around some vines, flora and fauna, and obviously your stone would be the centerpiece of this thing. I'm going to be able to poke this out. And anyway, it's just a regular old seat for a cabochon. Very cute, not super thick, right? Here we have a MTP 1202 for a 5.5mm round cut stone or cab. Either way, $18.92 is the retail price, $11.82 is the wholesale price, and this is just a little lovely, kind of classic crucifix with some cubic zirconias at the cardinal points, and has a good size prongs. That hybrid seat that can be used for cut stones or cab. I like these rope effects, along the center axes, and just kind of a cute, interesting, almost like evocative of a flame, the little bale there above that. Right? Cute little crucifix. We don't have a lot of crucifixes. Crucify? Is that the plural of crucifixes? Crucify. Excuse me. MTP 1203 for a 7x9mm oval cut stone or cabochon. Retail price $12.23. Wholesale price $7.64. Again, classic cubic zirconias around the outside, and the little crown sort of flourishes at the top and the bottom. Very cute. I put a little lapis stone in there. But that's what it looks like, right? It's got that nice little hybrid seat that you can use alternately for cut stones or cabs. Either will work in here. Our next item, MTP 1204 for a 6mm round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $14.86. Wholesale price is $9.30. And that's kind of a spiritual cousin to the other one that I showed you, a little earlier. And there's another one coming up right after this. Same idea, just a nice round pendant with some accents around the border, right? The big border around the outside of the seat. This one does have some cubic zirconias at the north, south, east, and west cardinal points of the design, the patterns, right? Very cute, very simple. Those kind of pendants, these kind of pendants definitely are there to show off your stone. It's not so much, look at this cool pendant I have, so much as look at the gorgeous stone that I have, and oh, there's a cute pendant around it too. So same idea, MTP 1205 for 6mm round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $14.64. Wholesale price $9.15, and this says kind of like a Celtic weave around the outside border with cubic zirconias in between all of the little weaves. Here's kind of a nice, a little more classic looking MTP 1206 for a 12x16mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price $18.89, and the wholesale price is $11.80. And this just has some filigree accents around the outside of the border, right? And these there are no CZs in here. That's all mill grain texture in the. It's not a twisty rope texture. It's definitely a mill grain texture, and it's got that hybrid seat for the stone. Got a nice, not super deep basket, but good sized prongs. So cabochon or a cut stone will work in there. Yeah. Our next item, MTP 1207 for 6mm round cab. I put one in here. Retail price $17.54 and the wholesale price $10.96. And I've got a little tiger's eye, which is totally incongruous in this beautiful silver and cubic zirconia masterpiece. And of course, now I can't pull it out there. I didn't set it, but I just popped it in there. So it is obviously a cute, lovely little flower with cubic zirconias on the petals, and a border framing the whole thing. Right? I don't know. I just think these things take up a totally different personality once you put a stone in them. And this stone obviously, to me, doesn't really fit with this kind of a pendant. You'd want something, maybe a cut amethyst or rainbow moonstone, something in there, something lighter, something brighter. But it's cool. It works. It looks good. Another question. Which one? I sent a message.
Hollow ring.
Halo ring. Okay. Yeah. We can look through. So by the halo, you mean the frame around the outside of the seat, right? That holds the thing. Does it have to be a pearl setting with a cap with a pearl? If we don't have one, and off the top of my head, I can't remember seeing one of those. So I'm gonna say no. But
We have a round one.
we have a round one, yeah. But we can definitely do anything as a custom. If you have a concept or an idea, um, you know, yeah. So these are not exactly what you're talking about, but it's another cup. Here's one, maybe a little closer to what you have, or by the if your thing on the halo has to be the halo. We've got this ring, right, which has that halo around the outside of a peg, bunch of cubic zirconias, right, and here's another, right, with a little bit wider ring with some, it's got some baguettes in between rows of cubic zirconias with a seat. So this is actually pretty close to the one that you sent.
You want squares.
Oh, you want a square? So no, I guess is a short answer. We don't have one exactly like what you're asking for. And thank you for linking that in the chat. I don't know, can everybody see that, or was that a private message? It was a private message? Okay, never mind. So no, but we can definitely, recreate any of these things as a custom item. And you can just look up on the website, or just let us know, and we can, forward you a link to how to do custom things. It's not super expensive. In fact, it's kind of insanely inexpensive. I've been trying to convince Marvel to raise the prices on custom stuff for a while now, but just because the prices are just really inexpensive for custom work. It's a lot cheaper than you might think. Anything up to 5 grams is like $65 Canadian dollars. That doesn't include stones. So if they're putting cubic zirconias, a bunch of cubic zirconias in there, but even those, I think they're like 30 cents each or something, some crazy cheap. Inexpensive is the word, not cheap. So anyway, yeah. So we can have a look at that. So I guess the short answer is we don't have one in stock that's exactly the way you want, but we can definitely make one for you. Okay, our next item is another kind of an antiqued brushed silver MTP 1208 for an 18 by 27 millimeter oval cabochon. Retail price $33.74 and the wholesale price is $21.09. As just some bamboo flora and fauna around an oval frame. Note the cubic zirconias in there, a couple different ones in scattered places, right? Very classic, very cute. The the bale incorporated into the design behind one of those cute little cubic zirconias. Very cute, very classic. Our next item, MTP 1209 for a 12 by 16 millimeter oval cabochon. Retail price $26.17 and the wholesale price $16.35. And I love these rows with the alternating rows. Right, the interior row is just that twisted ropey sort of effect, with rows of curly cues, right, little curls all the way around, holding the outer frame of cubic zirconias in there. Right, very classic, very cute, very symmetrical. I love symmetry. I'm just a sucker for that. I put a cab in here because they've got some nice, tall prongs and that flat seat. But you could definitely put a cut stone in there, even though the seat is ostensibly designed for a cabochon. If you put a cut stone in there, the pavilion would make the stone sit high enough that these prongs wouldn't be too tall on there. You'd definitely be able to get over onto the girdle of the stone if it's a cut stone. But again, this is designed for a cabochon, so a cabochon is probably best in that. Retail MTP 1210 for a 10 by 19 millimeter pear shaped stone. Retail price $21.15, wholesale price $13.22. Kind of classic, right? Lovely ribbons. Right? There are no cubic zirconias in here, but it looks like there wants to be. Right? I don't know, kind of a knot at the top. This has got a chevron prong at the top. I don't know if you can see this. Right? You see that chevron prong. And just the two regular prongs at the bottom. So ideally, you want a stone that has a pretty pointy top. If it's really rounded top, you can get away with a rounded top if it's a cut stone because the pavilion sits down inside the seat, and when you hold these things down on there, it holds it in place. But if it's a cabochon with a flat back, you need to have a pretty pointy tip. To get caught in that chevron, so when you push the chevron down, it locks it in place and prevents it from slipping out of that. But kind of gorgeous. Here's MTP 1211 for a 13 by 25 millimeter oval. Retail price $48.85 and wholesale price $30.54. And this is just one of my favorites. The only thing that I think that could make this better is if the seat were designed, instead of being specifically designed for a cabochon, right? With this, it's got that that bezel. I don't know, like a 2 millimeter bezel with a seat in the bottom to put your cab in there that you got to glue in there. If this were also designed with prongs, so you could set anything in there instead of just a cab. I just love this setting. Gorgeous. Those kidney shapes all the way around the outside. That's a really traditional filigree component around the outside of a row of cubic zirconias. And that inverted flame bale. Love that. That's just gorgeous. And here's a kind of a spiritual cousin of that. MTP. I gotta move this out of the way to see. MTP 1212 for a 20 millimeter round cabochon. Retail price $60.36, and the wholesale price $37.73. And it's got a pierced bail with some, lovely scroll work in there. A row of cubic zirconias around the seat, and then this kind of almost a meandros, right? That ancient Greek meandros, it's called, pattern around the outside. That's not quite the meandros. Meandros is kind of continuous, back and forth, back and forth. This is almost I don't know, pre-Columbian, Proterozoic, South American, right? Oh boy, Mr. Design over here. Our next item, MTP 1175 for a 10mm round cabochon or cut stone. This stone is a little bit smaller than that, but it kind of works. Retail price $24.57, wholesale price $15.37. It's just a teardrop shape, right, with that millgrain on the outside, millgrain texture on the frame on the outside, and then these rays of cubic zirconias. It's got a hybrid seat, right? So you can use a cabochon, pretty good sized prongs. So just about any kind of a cabochon will fit in here, and a cut stone will work great in here. With prongs so tall though on a 10mm stone, depending on how low the stone fits in the seat, you might need to trim these prongs down a little bit. Which boy, one of these days I'll do a little how-to on how to do that. Maybe when I'm done with these pendants. MTP 1176 for an 8x10mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $14.07. Wholesale price is $8.79. And it's for an 8x10, but there's also another, it doesn't say it in the thing, there's also another little setting up at the top for, what does that look like? Probably 3mm cut stone, right? So this is another one of those multi-stone settings, right? So you could put a little tiny 3mm cut stone or cab up there, maybe 3 or 4, I can't see, I don't have my calipers, and an 8x10 down at the bottom, right? Just lovely, very classic, very cool. Here's another, we have a bunch of these where the cab, slides into the piece, and then you can push the piece over. I'm going to pull that stone out just so you can see, doing, how it works, right? So the seat in the back of this, right, has dots, which is basically glue here. That's what that means whenever you see, a flat setting with these dimples in there. And then these, the leaves and with the that marcasite, right, stones in there, antiqued, very cute. Sits in there. I might have pulled that too far out. Anyway, and then that just pushes. Once you've glued that in there, you could push these leaves over onto that to make it look like it's all one piece. But the cab just sits nice and settled in here. And again, like I said, we've got a bunch of these, in different shapes, and they're super popular. If you have a cab that fits, golly, there's almost nothing like it, and how cool it is. MTP 1177 for 25mm round cabochon. Retail price $33.01 and the wholesale price is $20.63. The nice thing about this is if you have a cab where maybe there's a blemish or something ugly on one part of the cab, you can hide that underneath the in the places where the leaves are holding down the stone. Although every lapidary who's looking at this says, yeah, I figured that out. It seems pretty obvious as a good use for that. MTP 1178 for a 12x16mm oval cab or cut stone. Retail price $19.41 and the wholesale price is $12.13. And this is just pear shape, right? Pendant for an oval stone, not for a pear stone. It's a teardrop pendant. I hate using the word pear for these things because then people think that it's a pear stone, but it's an oval or teardrop pendant for a Pear, for an oval stone. Hey, I'm getting myself confused. Cute little cubic zirconia in there with those filigree elements between the seat and the outside of the frame. Just lovely. MTP 1179 for an 11 by 15 millimeter oval cut stone or cab. I think this is ostensibly designed for a cabochon, but you could probably put a cut stone in there. There's no basket, right? There's no seat, so be careful if you have a cut stone with a really sharp culet, that the back of that doesn't scrape against your chest as you're wearing this. We've got this just a cute little teardrop frame with a chevron of cubic zirconias on the top of that, right? I think the top of that, or the bottom of that point, probably would cover the stone once it's in there. I don't really have a stone that's exactly that size, but I think you get an idea, right? Oh, that's almost exactly right. Look at that. Right. Very cool. Here's another one. And again, I managed to find the setting that I can use the ugliest stone we have in the showroom. MTP 1180 for a 13 by 18 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $22.96 and the wholesale price is $14.35. And this is just a very simple frame with dimples all the way around it, right? And again, this this stone, golly, we got some sample stones, and this is like seriously like the least attractive stone that we have. It looks almost like an M&M, like a peanut M&M. Anyway, here's another cat. MTP 1181 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cut stone or cabochon as the head. Retail price is $17.97 and the wholesale price is $11.23. And again, this cat is the princess, right? She's got a little crown. Or maybe she's the queen. You never know. The queen cats. Cubic zirconias all the way kind of pave style in the body and one at the tip of the little tail. Very cute. Can't go wrong. Cat people love those kind of things. MTP 1182 for a 9 millimeter round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $15.39 and the wholesale price is $9.62. And this has got just a cute sort of a boy, almost like a doubled quatrefoil pattern, right, woven into each other, with one having cubic zirconias that goes in and out of another that doesn't, and in between all of the points of all of those intersections, there is a little cubic zirconia set in there. Very cute, very classic, almost evocative of like a kind of like a modern Celtic, feel to that. MTP 1183 for a 6 millimeter round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $15.29 and the wholesale price is $9.56. Golly, what's to say about this? Good sized prongs. You could put a cab in there. You could put a cut stone in there. It's got a nice deep basket, for your cut stones. Kind of ovals of some cubic zirconias around the outside, around flourishes of other, I don't know what you would call those, just cute little textural elements. Here's one that, the stone's in backwards. Anyway, MTP 1184 for a 12 millimeter round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $18.86 and the wholesale price is $11.79. Here's my really see, it doesn't really fit this little rose quartz, but it's cute, kind of I don't know, sort of not really a circular thing, but a circular seat on the inside with a band of cubic zirconias all the way around the seat, kind of bound to the outside, right, with those other components where the prongs are. Very cute, very cool. Good sized prongs for a cabochon, but that hybrid seat for a cut stone. Boy, you could put anything in there. Very versatile setting. Here's another MTP 1185 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $19.01 and the wholesale price is $11.88. Another one with just the seat on the inside and the row of cubic zirconias around the outside border, and those kind of rococo filigree elements holding the seat inside the frame. Just lovely. Here's a MTP 1186 for a 16 by 22 millimeter pear-shaped stone. Retail price $28.44 and the wholesale price is $17.78. Lovely kind of, I don't know what that is, right? Flora and fauna around the outside, some ribbons, a row of cubic zirconias all the way around the outside of the seat. Very cute. Our next one, MTP 1187 for a 10 by 12 millimeter oval cabochon or a cut stone. Retail price $13.69, wholesale price $8.55. Again, just a cute little, very classic pattern around the outside. Again, got a good size prongs for a nice cab or that hybrid seat for a cabochon or for a cut stone. Either will work in this. MTP 1188 for a 12 millimeter round cut stone or a cabochon. The seat is a hybrid. You can see that bevel in there, so it's ostensibly designed for either. I think a cut stone would work great in here. Cabochon also would work great. It's got some good sized prongs, so pretty much anything you put in there would look stunning. Right, there's little rows of cubic zirconias around the outside, around those elements. Very cute. Very classic. MTP 1242 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $14.35. Wholesale price is $8.97. Right, just a very simple basket with that rows. I don't know what that is. Kind of a little scrolly effect around the outside of that. Do I have a stone that'll fit in there? So on this kind of a thing, you would see just right. It's not, doesn't really fit, but you get the idea. It would just be the top. You'd just see the stone hanging from the bottom of the setting. Very cute. MTP 1243 for a 6 by 8 millimeter oval cabochon or a cut stone. Retail price $23.32. Wholesale price $14.57. And it's just square pendant with a seat on the inside held in by these cubic zirconias all the way around the outside. I put a hematite in there just because it's one that I had that fit. I don't know if it really works for this kind of a setting. If you put a hematite stone in there with all those cubic zirconias, it looks a little weird. Probably need a cut stone in there or a really, really gorgeous, rainbow moonstone or maybe a labradorite or something. But I love that veil at the top with the cubic zirconia in there. That's one of my favorites. Love it. A lot of bling in these. MTP 1244 for an 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $22.57 and wholesale price is $14.11. I love these alternating, a very three-dimensional piece, this, with the rows of cubic zirconias around the outside and another row around the inside, just plain silver, right? But from the front, it looks very, three-dimensional, very almost interlocking, right? It's a good deep basket. So cut stone would work beautifully in here. Cabochon too, because the prongs are pretty good size. So boy, you name it, you put it in there. Really super versatile setting and really interesting to look at. Very three-dimensional. Yeah, like that. MTP 1245 for a 6 by 8 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $12.22. Wholesale price $7.63, and just nothing to say about this very classic teardrop frame, right, with a simple seat on the inside, again, that you can use for a cabochon or a cut stone. It's got that hybrid seat, right, so anything will work. The prongs are not super tall, so although the cab I had in there was pretty good, pretty thick cab, so you can probably get away with anything, but the most thick cabochons would definitely work in here. MTP 1246 for a 6 by 8 mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $22.26, and the wholesale price is $13.91. Again, oval, seat, right, for an oval stone with some teardrop frame around the outside of the seat, and then another bigger one around the outside of that with this row of cubic zirconias in here. But the cutest thing, of course, is the bail, right, with this little butterfly, the 3 stones of the butterfly bail. It's just so cute. Can't. MTP 1247 for a 7 by 9 mm pear shaped stone. Retail price $25.43 and the wholesale price $15.89. And this is just a pear basket, right? Articulated, right? Is dangling from this frame on the inside of this teardrop shapes. One with a row of cubic zirconias around the outside, and the other just big bold background one. Very three-dimensional piece. Again, lots of movement when you put your stone in there. Definitely an eye catcher. Just want to note that, if you can see from here, but this row of cubic zirconia is also in the bail. It continues up in that. So a lot of sparkle, a lot of movement in this piece. Stunner. MTP 1248 for a 13 by 18 millimeter pear shaped stone. Retail price $20.71 and the wholesale price is $12.95. Again, a nice pear setting for a basket with a good sized basket and also pretty deep prongs for a cabochon or a cut stone. I'm particularly fond of pears settings that have these 2 prongs at the top instead of the chevrons. I find them much easier to set. So if you're setting, a pear stone that doesn't have a very pointy tip, very secure when you have these double prongs. Right at the top. I love this little swoopy cubic zirconias up at the bail at the top of there. Here's another. This I think is my favorite of all the new ones. MTP 1249 for 4 by 6 millimeter cabochons or cut stones, but 4 of them. Right. This is one of those multi settings, right, where you need 4 stones. To fill that 4 by 6 with these kind of spiral effects of cubic zirconias around the outside and a big CZ on the inside middle. And we've got these other elements on the back, right? So it's a nice deep basket, right, which gives a very three-dimensional look from the outside. It almost looks like golly, I don't know how to describe it. It's a very three-dimensional piece. Definitely, when you look into it, you see what's happening behind it, and it gives you. It's just evocative of I don't know, three-dimensional. I don't know how else to describe it. And the lovely inverted pear bail at the top with the cubic zirconias all the way through there. Just a killer piece. Did I say that? Retail price $35.01 and the wholesale price $21.88. MTP $12.49. Again, for 4 by 6 millimeter cabs or cut stones. I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna get some of those stones. That's my favorite of all the new ones. I shouldn't say that. MTP $12.50 for an 8 by 10 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $17.06 and the wholesale price is $10.66. Don't pay attention to that times 4. It's only for 1 stone. I think maybe when Nelson was making the label, he made the other one first and then forgot to remove that from this thing. So Only one stone goes in this one. Again, it's a classic, ribbons, cubic zirconias. It's like, can't go wrong. Very classic shapes. We've got a couple of those that are similar. Might try to put those together someday. MTP 1251 for a 5x7mm cut stone or a cab. Retail price $18.33. Wholesale price $11.45. Again, just a gorgeous, cute little plain seat, right? For a cut stone or a cab, I put a cut stone in there, but a cab would work. And it's just held together by two chevrons of cubic zirconias, right? One on the bottom, one on the top. The bail at the top is bedecked in CZs. Very sparkly. Very cute ones. Whoops. On to the last tray. And we've got...
Already 55 minutes.
already 55? Okay, should we stop now? Or should we keep going?
You can stop now and then next time.
Yeah, I think we'll stop now. Okay. Here's a preview for next week. Right, we've got lovely, and a lot of the ones I have in that tray, I have stones in them. So I think it's a cute little butterfly that has a component that you don't see a lot. A little different shape, a different colored stone. This little garnet for the eyeball of this butterfly. Anyway, we'll get into that next week. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for the questions about the things. Again, we always try to be responsive as we can. I hope we're able to make that custom square halo ring for you there. And I think that'd be awesome. And we can do it. Totally. And it'll probably be cheaper than it would be if you were to buy one already made from someone else. Because we're that good.
The customer already sent me the message. He said, I will check with factory whether we have the other already ring, and then
Okay.
I give her the feedback.
So basically, maybe we already have some designs of that we can go ahead and make a sort of thing. So maybe even sooner than later. If not, we'll get there eventually, right? So I guess that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us for the 35th. Isn't it like silver thing? What is it? What is 35? Is your anniversary? Paper? Scissors? I don't know. So thank you for joining us for our 35th live stream from SilviaFinidngs. We will see you next week. In the meantime, keep creating stuff, keep working, keep making stuff. Don't let this pandemic get you down. Who am I kidding? If you're a human, it's getting you down. But chin up. Things are good. Again, light is at the end of the tunnel. We're getting through it. People getting vaccinated. Life will get back to normal sooner or later. Or a new normal. Whatever the new normal is, we'll be ready for it, right? So take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Take care of the planet. Take care of each other. And keep creating. Keep making stuff. And we're always here to help you with that. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.